All right, let's get this show on the road. Got it. So, basically, we need to start talking about what exactly is next in my little ordeal. I think I want to learn how to make a dungeon zone and see if it's much harder with OpenZone style. We need to clone this repo locally, which we can just do git clone from GitHub OpenZone. That should find my repo. I'm going to probably just put it into C drive games. No, C drive code projects. And here I can select. And I'll just clone it over and I can open it. And now it should synchronize with what I was doing on the other project. Something that was brought to my attention is that 8.3 is the most stable. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting 8.3 source code into my project, which is right here. So let's go find 8.3, reveal it into this, and paste. And there'll be collisions, but I figured let's just override. In fact, let's cancel. Let's delete all this. So now we have a fresh source repo. Let's paste this in. I'm also going to hop on Discord voice. If anyone joins my chat, they can see my stuff or whatever. All right, so I am streaming successfully, correct? How do my stats look? No, a little bit of drop frames, but quality looks pretty solid. Sweet. All right, so source. What all changed in the last repo changes? They added a references point index. Get an 8 points. This is all new. So the animator support is better, I'm guessing, even if unstable. Expressions. Just a bunch of random junk removed here. So I guess the skeleton stuff and the animations were revised between these two. I want to see how good Lazarus is, by the way, when I'm using. So let's go download Lazarus real quick. Not Lazarus EQ though. Lazarus Pascal or Delphi, but yeah. Download. We'll just see how Windows support is in comparison to what I was doing. All right. So this is using a bunch of textures that we actually have never seen before, like small tree ring shifted. I'm assuming they're all open source ones, and that's why they're doing all that fun. Okay. That should be downloaded by now. And let's go ahead and boot that up. Eventually. Okay. I don't really want it to be on C drive. It's more of a Lazarus code project. I don't need that. Just install it, please. My phone likes to make notification sounds. It's kind of annoying. Like, you honestly should just never... Because this phone I just don't care about. Yeah. You have one job and one job only, and that is to create this. Speaking of, what are some past events on my Twitch? Does it actually tell you on here? Yeah. So 9 hours ago, Brenya followed. So I might need to say hi to him or something. The video where he's at. All right. So I don't need to know what's new in Pascal on every single open project, but we're going to see if we can get OpenZone to load. Primarily because if I can load, then I can start working on reverse engineering, and I guess I'm going to have to learn Pascal to actually work on this, but it doesn't look too difficult. All right. So, Lazarus should be installed now. D drive code Lazarus, compilers found, FPC sources found, make and debug. So it's already better than the OS X one, just from the fact that it just fucking works without doing anything. But now the real question, though, is if I say open and I point this to my, I'm actually going to point it to my repo. Give me like details. There we go. For main. Can this compile? Say what? It just worked? Is that what that's saying right there? Temp project 1 success. Okay, so wait. Where's this temp? It's literally putting in my app data. That's really gross. Oh, wait. I want the other run. Okay, so app data, local, or this is roaming. Why does roaming default? I always hate that. Local, temp, project 1. Really? Like, of all the places to put it, you're putting it here. And apparently, it literally just creates a form 1. So this doesn't seem correct. Like, I don't think it actually compiled. Maybe I have to open the form. Yep, execution stopped. Says success, but nothing happens when it executes. Probably because I'm not at the right entry point. Which, frankly, I am not really sure where OpenZone starts. See, there's no actual OpenZone dot file. What is a DPR or a DOF? It's a Delphi project. So I'm guessing the DPR should be, where is this project file? Can this be opened with Lazarus? No. Apparently dproj is a better one, but nope, DPR. Embarcadero Delphi. Is this that other one? I think I already have this. Yes. I already have the RAD client on my other machine. How can I get this over here real quick? Actually, let me just grab my laptop. Okay, so with my laptop, I'm gonna go ahead and copy over the file that it wants, because I'm pretty sure I downloaded this. In fact, I apparently downloaded it twice. So on the network, let's find this PC. It's not 5. Okay. So we're just going to toss this in the D drive code directory real quick. There it is. And I agree. I do have not. Let's do a trial. I honestly don't care about Rad Studio. I just want to get this going to see what exactly this project looks like. If it can even open it. The other project I've been kind of working on is using net radius and trying to create a world that I can then import. The problem is I don't know net radius, so I'm having issues just making even a basic world. But we'll give it a moment here. So we're going to go ahead and cancel this. I don't think Lazarus is compatible. Why do I need a code just to have a trial? Wait. I am not a fan of this, especially because, like, if I hit free trial, I have to put all this crap in, but I already have an account. So let's give that a whirl real quick. Why does it say start your trial to fucking log in? It's so gross. I hate this. This is so gotcha. All right, I've already downloaded this installer. Oh, the email gets sent to you. I honestly don't care if people know. Are you kidding me? Why did you deselect that Gmail? That was like the worst time. What the heck? There. Wow. All right. There we go. All this. Okay. Delphi for Windows. That's all I care about for now. That's fine. What in the heck is this installer doing? It's switching to Explorer and then flickering it. Man, I don't even want to know what it's doing right now. Close some of these old Notepad documents. I think I have a couple copies of Paint open too. Just a couple. While I'm waiting on this, I'm actually going to keep working on the source tree links for OpenZone because I found this. There was a scene pack, which I believe I've downloaded. Let's double check. So I downloaded Urban Terror for this. Scene pack, OpenZone. What is eCommons? That's probably me coming back around. Yep. So I'm going to delete eCommons. So the scene pack I discovered is just the scene files. So they released scene pack 0.5, 0.4, a jagged pine map file. Let's just go to files. I'm kind of curious about this OpenZone program too. I think this is just a map or an S3D viewer, but I don't have a copy of it, so I'm going to go and download that. Then we have Ekimu Maps. This is waypoint map files, I'm pretty sure, basically. What is FreeQuest? I don't even recognize the term FreeQuest. Some really old compiles of Ekimu. And a packet collector. Out of curiosity, what's this written in? 2004? Holy cow. All right. Let's get back into here. Where's my download for? Oh, that's right there. OpenZone. 8.3. No, that's I know what that is. Where's the one I just... Did I mess that up? OpenZone's what we're messing with. Zone Explorer is what I was talking about earlier. All right, Zone Explorer. We'll grab a copy of. Let's take a quick peek at this packet collector. Which, by the way, where does this go? I like downloaded this and now it's gone. Are we having... I don't want just a single executable. That's not going to give me any hints. Zone Explorer is not coming up. Why? This is ugly. I don't like this installer. It's super slow and gross. Okay, so let's go back to my tools while I'm waiting. And we're going to make a folder for Zone Explorer 1.2, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Is this as simple as what you might think? A XWF. Interesting. Weird. What the heck is a W or XWA file? I've never seen XWA. I don't know how those are made or converted or anything. Interesting. Okay. It does have the source code, and of course, this is also in Pascal. Let's just explore this a little bit while we're waiting on this installer. Which, by the way, I can't even switch to anymore. Like, there's just applications that are just gross sometimes, aren't there? Apparently, it's still downloading and freezing while it does so. Okay. So, ooh, what is this? What the hell? Okay. Why am I getting a Windows SDK? I'm assuming this is part of this. I'd rather put it in D drive than C. I don't need telemetry data. Holy cow. That's fine. Just put it on my D drive. I don't need my C drive full of SDK crap. Okay. So we have the Zone Explorer here. And there is no help for me. This is actually kind of interesting data to find, because I think this lines up with how world files work. And this is actually data that's in my GitHub. Oh, what is it called? Zachary. And then I think I call it like, what? Why am I switching to Steam? This program is retarded. Okay. EQ ZX or is ZXC? Yeah. So if we look at the world file, there's fragments. And some of these fragments are actually partial. Like vertex. Let's look at vertex. So in my reader, you have first the index, an unknown, color count, and then bone indexes. Okay. Let's go back to like light. I think I have that one in here too. So every one of them has a reference to a hash. And then there's this value. See, this one isn't one-to-one though, because this is going immediately to position. While this one has a Boolean for what kind of light source it is. And then you have RGBA. And ambient's ignored on this one. But good to know there's something I might reference later. Okay, why are you opening a random one? You can go away now. All right, so we have installed this, which I don't like anything about this. Oh my gosh, at least it has a dark mode. Consolis is fine. Don't need you to do any sort of source control. I don't like you at all. All right. Can I open a C proj? Let's see. D drive games, EQ tools. Let's go to, oh, actually, C drive code projects, OpenZone, source. All right. This is looking possibly more promising. There it is. Open. Class TGL visor not found. Ignore the error and continue? Yes. Let's ignore all of those errors for now. And all of those errors for now. And all of those, and all of those, and all of those, and all of those. Holy crap, dude. I'm telling you to ignore all, and you're not ignoring all. I'm guessing each form referencing it is causing the error to come back. Okay. So we are now in the world of this thing. Let's see if it'll even start. Why? Unit fast MM4 not found. What the heck is fast MM4? During the DPR on line 46, it's looking for fast MM4. Where the heck is this from? Oh, there's a zip file. Let's go check the zip file out real quick. I'm guessing I can just extract it. Re-hit play. Number of elements from declaration differs. Wow. I am not going to be jumping into this too deeply. Hopefully this simplifies here in a sec. Let's try another Rad Studio startup. I don't know what DPI unaware means, but Okay, let's reopen OpenZone. And here's your UI. Does not have a corresponding component. No. Holy crap, dude. Why can't I just... Generic 3D, S3D file format handler. That's interesting. I didn't realize the file name CRC is just the IEEE algorithm. I wonder if I can make that easier later for Go. All right, well, Rad Studio, I think because I don't have a lot of these third-party utils, are not going to be very easy to get going. So let me stop that. Let's go a different route for now, which is basically, can I get BSP to load cleaner in this? Like, I need to go find a Quake 3 cube demo map. Hey, Lazy. How you been, dude? I haven't heard from you in forever. Are you still playing on green? Are you still like level 53 on your bard? Okay, I don't need you to go here. You taking Quake and making EQ? Well, so it just so happens that Quake 3 and EverQuest use the same BSP-based map system. So I can take stuff from Quake and import it. And Quake has better map editors than OpenZone is. Just to show you, though, because I've just been kind of chatting this whole time. If we go to C Drive Games, EQ Underdark, we go EQ Game. Check this out real quick. So you see this thing? Watch how fast it loads. You ready for this? Play. All right. Gets to the splash screen, which is just Lazarus. And of course, because I said, watch how fast it's going to take forever. Look how fast that loaded. I'm already in the freaking character select. And when I press go into game, look how fast this is. Loaded. In game. Just like that. So this right here was made in OpenZone. So I'm literally running around in an OpenZone generated world, which is pretty cool, right? Because it looks like old school EQ. And I intentionally made this geometry a little wonky where like the foundation is floating because I'm trying to see how the nav mesh generation was working with it. But yeah, I made this, or with the tutorial I helped, but this is all custom. The walls, there's a little zone line over here. Look at this zone line. There's a invisible wall here, which you can get around if you walk up the wall over here. Boom. And apparently there's an orc pond, but I don't have orc pond models here. And then this would be a zone line. But yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? But you want to hear something else that's pretty crazy? I slimmed down my EverQuest directory. Check how big this Underdark folder is that this is running in. 370 megabytes. If I compress that, there's a couple text files that got missed, but whatever. 233 megabytes for the entire EQ game with my custom stuff. Isn't that amazing? I could even slim it down a little bit more, but still, it's normally like 10 gigs, especially for the RF2 client. I mean, even P99 is pretty nuts. Like, how big is P99? Roughly? Yeah, 5 gigs. Yeah, I turned 5 gigs basically into 300 megs. I've stripped like everything, but you know, I'm kind of messing with an EQ. You know, going custom. It'd be kind of fun. Anyways, that map that you just saw is actually in another scene file. I need to clean this up here soon. What I need to do is take Zach first, move it over to 8.3, like so. And then I need to take my library textures folder and move that into 8.3. And hopefully there's no compatibility issues. We'll find out really soon here. Zach first. Is this the right? Yeah. Perfect. So here's that world. Zoom in. Isn't there like a mode switch? Yeah. If I click this and then I click this, this generally speaking is not very intuitive. The Quake editor is much better. But yeah, here is my zone, and I can even like click on this wall and be like moving it and stuff. I'm not great at it because I'm pretty sure you have to do it programmatically, which is horrific. But like if I want to move that over 1 pixel, boom, or 1 major coordinate. It looks like the wood texture for some reason didn't get loaded because you can see on the roof on it, but still pretty cool. What I'm trying to do though is take this like Quake 3 map, which again, the navigation on this is amazing. I would love to get this fully converting. But for some reason, when I build the BSP file, I get map leaked. And if I go back to here, you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to leave everything pristine on this, but I'm also going to go File, Import, Quake 3 map. And then I'm going to go take the export, which is to, I believe this is exporting, yeah, to Urban Terror. Is it? Yeah. Maps. I think I'm just exported it to EQ. Open. So in theory, I just added a cube somewhere. I'm not even sure. Wait, can I like double click this and like fly to it? No, that would be too easy. Yeah. It's weird because it says it's this 3D point. Let me make it like huge. Maybe it's like a, oh, I think it's literally right there. Maybe? Wait. Yeah. I don't know. But anyways, I was hoping to get this BSP system to work with ours. Because honestly, we should be using a BSP editor. That's all OpenZone's really doing when you do an import-export like this. I mean, there is some geometry differences, but... And obviously there's like regional data that needs to be edited too. But... yeah, I don't like OpenZone. It's kind of wonky. But what we can do is, I've done this before, is I could actually import, what was the map? It was called Pac-Man. Where did I end up putting that? It was in, I think it's in my downloads right now. There is a copy of the Pac-Man zip file in, I think I literally just have it. Is it Net Radiant? No. Okay, I gotta think about this. I just did this. Downloads. Okay, so here's the raw Pac-Man file, right? So let's just export this. Then let's grab the PK3, which I think 7-zip natively supports. And there's your BSP. Okay, so let's take this, put it in D drive games EQ tools, and let's go to 8.3, and we're going to make a new folder in here and call it like Quake 3 maps. Boom. What I'm going to try to do is export this like so, take the textures, put those into textures like so. I don't know if it needs to be in the Quake 3 directory or not. Let's put it in there. Okay. So now, when I go to import, I can go to Quake 3 maps, open this BSP up, could not find the BSP file. So wait, importing Quake 3, make sure you have create the Quake 3 folder in library textures, which I did. It's right here. And under library textures, and extracted all your PK3 files in there. Okay. Let's try one-to-one extracting it in here. Now let's hit import the Quake 3 map. And then let's go Quake 3 maps. Wait, let's go to library. Whoa. Textures, Quake 3, maps, open. Perfect. All right, so now we have a Pac-Man world inside of our EverQuest zone file. All right, so let's see if I can get this to export. This is eCommons. Oh, let's actually type that. Sure. Awesome. Let's go to EQ. And let me pop in, yeah, whatever. Cool. So, we just extracted it. So now we need to get it into my Underdark directory. So 8.3 zones, eCommons, we need the S3D and some of these files. That's it. We need to copy these to C drive games, EQ Underdark. And we'll override the old. Let's go ahead and boot it up. There we go. That load time, though. All right, we are in game, and look at that. That giant world thing. Okay, so hashtag fly mode 1. And now we can fly around. This is probably solid geometry. Oh, man. But look at that. We got Pac-Man in EverQuest. Now, unfortunately, this see-through wall right here is where all the cool things are. So maybe I can go to 000. There we go. I'm in the fucking maze. 1 up, high score. Look at that. And in my opinion, doing this in Quake is going to be a lot easier than all the headaches with OpenZone, especially because you can just import it. But as you see here, there's some geometry issues on the outer wall. But I mean, it's perfect. And this is all collision too. See, I'm like snapping against it and I'm in a wall. I'm literally playing in a Pac-Man maze in EverQuest. Waka 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 waka. Pretty cool, right? I think I'm gonna leave my guild. I don't like that it says Zachary Zach. I was testing something with that a while ago. All right. Well, cool. That actually worked perfect. I love the geometry of like 1 up. Done with the brush. And the texture's loaded correctly too. Like if I turn fly mode off, I literally can land on, oops, I'm a little too fast to like really walk on it though. Whee! Can I get in here? Let me through. Let me through. There we go. This wall's broken, so yeah. You can see the geometry of the original stuff, and it's kind of just merged in with the junk. But nice. See though, so this shows though that like I could totally make an entire world just in Quake 3's map editor, which is going to be a lot more mature than EverQuest's, especially OpenZone, just from the fact that it's not being maintained still. Well, that's cool. Let me go ahead and start working on making this better, I guess. So the first thing I'm trying to do is, this is Net Radiant, right? And I made this EQ directory or project, and all I did is make this cube. And if you look inside, it's just, simple cube. But for some reason, I can't get this to work. It's like there's holes. And I thought there's a command for that. But honestly, I don't understand this project at all. I know there's like a lot of great documentation out there. I just don't know all of it. I'll have to do some learning here soon. I think the way that I made this cube is not right. So let's just go ahead and delete this geometry. And let's go ahead and create a new cube, which is so easy in this. Look at that. I literally just made a cube without trying. Okay, so now if I build this, do I get leaked? Yes. How do I make it so like I went over here and I hit make it into a building. I forget where that was, but there's a command to basically modify this and turn it into a hole. But we need to figure out how to make just a simple world. Because, I mean, arguably, though, even if it wasn't solid, the way that I'm importing, OpenZone shouldn't care. So let's say theoretically this is succeeding, right? So we have updated EQ, right? Let's go back to OpenZone. Let's go ahead and delete this geometry. And this geometry. Let's import the Quake mesh. And let's grab from D Drive Games Urban Terror, the latest one. It succeeded. Really? Oh yeah, our issue though was we never could see it. So let's try to like really grow this, like 1500 by 1500 by 1500. Do we even see anything? Like I feel like that cube right there could be it. But if it is, I don't get textures. Because remember when I imported the old one, you know, I'm actually going to delete this directory because we don't need it. Library textures, Quake 3. When I imported Pac-Man, could I edit textures or anything? No, it came in just as is. You can't do anything. It's basically what, WYSIWYG? Interesting. But how do I get this to work? Because arguably, I should be able to get this cube and just make it work. Because we don't really even care if this... Let's hit final. So what did all of this do? No entities in open, no filling. Unknown surface parameter. I'm going to actually start a new map. And I'm going to change the game. Because right now I'm using Quake, Urban Terror. But if I go back to just, let's say, Quake 3... Why does it... Oh, there it is. It's on the top. And use Urban Terror as the directory. Okay. Let's make a cube. We're going to make a really big cube, like a 320 by 320 by 320. Right? This is a serious cube. All right. And we're just going to go ahead and save as box. All right. We're going to go ahead and build this out as a VSP. I'm still getting map leaked, but can I import this properly? So, file, import, 3D Max, Quap, D Drive Games, Urban Terror. Ooh, I'm not. There it is, box. It may technically be there. I just can't see it. For fun, oops, not export. Let's export this with the file in there. going to have to write a proper export here soon because I'm going to not have fun doing these operations every time. Copy, paste, replace, go back in game, load. If I don't crash, the textures went away, but that's okay. Fly mode 1, if I get close to 0, 0, 0, go to 0, 0, 0, there should be some invisible geometry going on somewhere here. But I'm not seeing it. This all looks pretty solid to me. Also, why do I lose all of my texture data? Because arguably, this all should be still in the EQG file. I wonder if I need to like reload OpenZone real quick. OpenZone. Could be a side effect of having that cube in there. So let's go ahead and export again. Okay. Copy it back over. Load in. And I still don't have textures. Interesting. Why do I have textures? Eroded concrete. Is totally still there. Let's hit choose textures. I love how you can see the little NPC walking. Yeah, this is all your classic stuff. And this is set to none, which is fine. You can see the Quake 3 directory now. Wonder why I'm not getting textures. Is there possibly an issue with like the loader? I mean, this all looks pretty clean. And what about, let's use EQZip real quick. Open eCommons real quick. Yeah, there's all the textures that you would expect. It's interesting it's all white, even just with the vanilla one. Maybe it's a bug with EQ. I might have to restart EQ real quick. Interesting. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to learn NetRadiant because I feel making brushes, importing and exporting, and just general maintenance with the Quake 3 map editor, it's gonna be much cleaner than the geometry maker in OpenZone. Just the fact that OpenZone does not have an intuitive nav system is part of the headache. And I'll basically delegate OpenZone in just to an exporter importer. Yeah, see, I crashed now. Could be, though, that was just a one-off, but let's try one more time. Make sure. Okay. It's so nice how fast this loads. Boom, I'm in. East Commons, go. Boom, it crashes or it goes. It went, and look, now textures are working. So that had to have been some sort of bug with EQ and reloading and just a new S3D file or something. It must like cache the pointer offsets or something. That's gross. But at least now the world's working fine and we have full export working. Kind of funny to think though that like EverQuest and all the zones that you're running around in is essentially just BSP Quake maps. Definitely puts another perspective on the whole thing. Okay. Getting started, net radiant. Basic tutorial. I just need to make a cube successfully. Can you make me? Yeah, I get all these tools. I know how to make a box.
Properly. Nice box. And I'm going to go with textures. Textured. We need.
Okay. Now I have a box. What's this button? Okay, was that a light? I don't care about lights too much right now. And I don't care about putting a player.
My favorite weapon, the next we shall put in. That is essentially as done distance.
And a weapon I don't care about.
And that will compile the map. And you'll be able to tutorial and press enter and it should show how it's and other than that, happy mapping.
That was it. Literally everything I know already. All right, so to answer your question, I see it up there. I'm just, one sec. Let's go to something dark. So you're just trying to learn how to use the software and using Quake and EQ to mess around? First, it's educational, and yes, I'm always playing around. Or are you planning to learn this to use it for custom EQ content? Well, funny you say that. Part of the thing with this whole Underdark thing, I'm just calling it Underdark for now. I don't know if it'll end at that. Is I'm looking to make some sort of custom EQ server. That's why I stripped one down to like bare essentials. You know what I mean? Just to get going. Because you figure, if I have this stripped down all nice, I can then basically rebuild classic EQ and start expanding it with some additional zones. And that could be a lot of fun. Just make some sort of play around EQ custom server. But like keep classic feeling, but also not classic. Expand beyond the universe of classic, essentially. Because nobody likes Lucklin and Plus, right? Everyone likes this OG Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 graphics. Yeah. CTF Quake. Do you ever play Urban Terror, dude? That's actually a lot of fun. I like Urban Terror a lot. So yeah, I got to figure out how to make this actually render out. So let's think about this. Let's just make a cube. Let's do 320 by 320 again. It's a huge cube. And right now I have it in, how tall is this? Pretty sure it's pretty tall. Let's go ahead and make an, oops. I didn't want to mess that orientation up, but whatever. And then let's make a 2 wide wall. And then let's make another by copying this, hitting Q, dragging it down. Why isn't this aligning, by the way? That's annoying. And then let's also scale this. Oh, did I transform it? That's the problem. Z, yeah, I just skewed it. I'm like, what's going on? Let's try that again. Let's just make it like simple. Boom, right? We've got this little cube. Happy, done. Now let's use translate and let's make another cube right here and another one over here and another one over here and another one over here. Okay. Then let's grab the bottom cube, right? Oops, this is like solid right now. So let's shrink this. So that it's only like a cube high-ish, which right now you can see my orientation. Side view, we got to put this down. All right, so that's going to be nice and solid, right? Copy paste, and let's move the second one up to, holy crap, why is it going so tall? Okay, I'm using taper again, dang it. All right, Q, what does Q go to transform? Okay, that's right. So, can I move this up? Apparently that moves the whole thing. You know what? Delete. All right. Copy, paste. For some reason, it's not doing the whole object when I say move. Oh, I need W. I'm doing the wrong move. There we go. I'm like, what the heck am I doing wrong? We're going to keep that pretty tall. Cool. So now if we go inside, we have this nice little cube room, right? And we need a texture ideally. Unfortunately, to make textures work, I need to go to D drive games or Urban Terror, and then we got to go to base Q3 maps. Here's the map data. And if we look at Q3UT whatever, this has all the cool texture data. It's in these PK3s. How do I make it include textures? That is the question. I'm going to probably need to look it up. But you know what? Screw the textures. No, let's not screw the textures. Quake 3 net radiant shaders, because they like to call them shaders. All right. I saw this, but see, this is from an older version. Recently accepted a little side gate retexture maps, right? And loaded into G2K Radiant. So far so good, but now, of course, all the surfaces say shader missing image and makes it a bit hard to navigate and see what this should be. Okay, so in scripts is shader list, right? And shader list gives you a listing of every possible map image. So let's do base Q3 scripts shader list. And let's just put in here like one wood one, primarily because I know that's a texture from well, hell, let's take these are just JPEGs. Interesting. It loaded fine into, let's just take the Pac-Man one actually, because that's an amazing little texture. So this was Quake 3. Okay, we can get out of EQZip now. I don't like having to go back to that every time. Let's try textures here. Put Pac-Man marquee. We're going to just call it Pac-Man. Then we're going to go into scripts. We're going to edit this and say Pac-Man. And then we're going to go back to the maps. Loaded texture, net radiant, custom bitmaps, not X. Texture load failed textures. Okay. Well, where the heck do they go then? Enable to read shader file, scripts, pacman.shader. So there should be a shader file? What? Net radiant example. And of course, there's tons of cool documentation stuff, but not just like a getting started net radiant. We're going to just scrub, download, find it, global preferences. The problem though is it's going to try to load it from previous stuff that's already in the game.
Super Soul.
Yeah, window layout, change it. See, this is just literally starting. Useless. I need like texture configuration, mapping.
And 3, and we do
So
things like that.
let's take a rewind here real quick.
There, click show all, and they'll appear just here. Directory, because that's the name of the map. So we do
Q3 BSP build
and it goes,
creates a map file, BRT, and a BSP, right? That's how you get Viz. Yep.
Wait for that. Space %1 and SVN West on you, and hit enter. Build.map and map. What am I doing? Build a back.
This is how you automate copying crap, but I don't need that. Grr. You know what? Screw it. Build SP map leaked. You know what it could be? I need to actually put the character on the map. How do you even do that? Entity. Class name world spawn. Well, entities are things that you put into the game. That would be a brush that I'm looking for, right? Man, I definitely need to find a really good hand-holding tutorial here. But at least we know that the Quake 3 one can load. Let's try I know I keep falling back to this. Let's just build it and see if I can get it to work so that I get some progress here. Box. Let's move that over to here. Maybe that'll just work just with the box. OpenZone. Import. Library. No, wait. Doing something. Honestly, I think it's working. There's just no geometry. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening right now. Yeah, because you can see that it's generating a cube, but that cube is likely the boundary for this. But because we have no shaders, it's just rendering nothing. Okay, found shader list in base Q3. Loaded texture fallback nodex basically. Unable to read pacman.shader. Okay. So give me a generic one. Like, I understand that lava can be animated and most surface parm. Yay for bad links. I guess base Q3 could be used. Feels a little wonky though, but let's say we go back to base Q3, maps. Yeah, this doesn't even have map data. Jump entities, maps. Yeah. This is just a Quake pack. I don't want a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, you are not helpful. Just give me like a single brush texture example real quick. I have no idea what all this advertising is. Net Radiant demo. All right. This is not being easy on me, is it? Okay. This is useful right here, actually. So what you can see is that in the root directory, you have scripts, and in scripts, you have all the shaders defined. And then you also have textures, and then you can like subdirectory if you want. That's fine. My problem is, give me a basic shader. Like, you have the lava in here. I might want to go download or get Quake 3, I think. Unfortunately, I don't even own the game right now. I used to, but not, that was pre-Steam era. Deform vertices, wave sign, map. Do you think if I just, let's test something real fast, just for fun. All right, so Urban Terror, right? We got scripts. We want to go back to base Q3 because that's where we're currently working off of, right? We got this. So we're going to make a new text file. We're going to call it pacman.shader. And inside of this shader file, I'm going to paste this data, and I'm going to change textures to pacman.jpg. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh. Parsing shader file, loaded texture. Textures was not found. pretty sure this needs to go up one directory. Load failed textures. So possibly load failed. Textures, Pac-Man. I mean, I'm explicit with that. So it could be the file format. It could be the shader naming. I love how, again, they're using lava because it's interesting. Give me just a basic one. Like, here's a simple shader file. Map textures. Everyone's Targa. Well, this is probably not the most engaging stream ever. Apologies, but this is how you learn, right? You know what I'm gonna do is let's just do a Quake 3 mapping tutorial. This is all I want. Your first room. Holy font, and is there like a readability option on this? Because this is absolutely hurting my eyes. Once your windows are arranged, go ahead and use the mouse pointer to draw your first brush. Yes. Now go up to the toolbar and find a hollow. With the box still highlighted, go ahead and hit the tab and you'll see there's a hollow tab. Did I ever see that? I thought there's a room. Build, grid, miscellaneous, entity, brush, curve, random ass plugins, help, edit, flip, polygons, this is like display filters. This is your models in texturing. Then you have your modifications for brushes. You have your cubic view stuff, your select styles. Honestly, I think make room is what he's talking about. Yeah, the hollow tool allows you to make a brush hollow that replaces the 6 brushes, making up the sides of the brush you had. The side brushes will be as thick as the grid size you have selected. So on this view, though, you can see how when it hollows, they overlap. And when I hollow, which of course, let me just make another cube real quick, right? So here's my cube, right? If I use my make room button on it, you can see there, the corners are recessed, so it's not making the edges. But it should be a solid room, right? So is there like a build everything? Failed. Of course it failed. Okay, so let's keep humoring this other tutorial that hurts my eyes. Next. Now it's time to put some textures. Go ahead and deselect the box and have a look inside. The blue and black images are the default when a texture hasn't been selected yet. Now let's put something on the floor. Go up to the textures option in the toolbar and select base floor. I mean, I know how to select crap. Getting the textures loaded is just not intuitive whatsoever. Edit the spawn entity so that you can launch the map facing forward in the room. Select the spawn cube by moving the mouse pointer. Yeah, according to this though, I literally just make a room and then have I think the player being inside is super important for it to actually render properly. But of course, entity models and shaders. Prefabs. This is how you put in existing models. Yep. 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 That's not what I wanted though. Okay. Apparently the N key will show you all these, which I can likely now find player. It's probably going to be called player spawn or something. Or spawn, world spawn. I don't like that it doesn't tell you what each one of these are. Let's say it's world spawn. Oh, you can just right click. Well, that's helpful to know. Wait, what are you doing? World spawn. No? Ammo function, hold, weapon, trigger. Okay. So that's for element properties. So ammo BFG actually spawns So that's interesting. How do I make player spawn? Target, shooter, miscellaneous, info, player start. There we go. That sounds pretty much what I want. So with W to translate, can we move this into the cube? We have finally gotten the player into the world. Now, if I build, does it say empty? It does not. Okay. So next we need to do textures, which apparently liquids is now listed on here, which is weird. Why did caulk come in here? Caulk. Common caulk. Caulking is not in this shader list. So how did it get that and why is it now in there? Double checking, is this still my directory for the game? C Drive Games Urban Terror, but it is Quake 3 version. Load shaders at startup, none. Texture browser. Surface inspector. Okay. I think so. Everything's using Targa, and every shader type starts actually with an intro of the texture name, right? So my texture, derp, that helps. Parsing shader file scripts, Pacman shader, loaded texture, load failed because now there's a caulking. How do I delete this? The documentation on this is horrible.
And get that it won't give you et file, configs file. Inside you will find all the unverified game configs that the NetRadiant supports, but it doesn't come with. So you need to grab the et.game folder, you put it inside the both NetRadiant file and game. Another TK rate to et main that we're reading from. So that's all there is. I decided to make this video.
Yeah, that's not what I want.
shifted. So that's the down part of this texture. Just don't use this type of times. So when you press actual, it actually puts it back. On Apple, when you press
inspector,
actual, it actually
interesting.
texture around. So natural. And this is
Down to this side, back up again, or sure. And
So let's scroll back a little bit. Maybe he will explain. Nope, he does not. Useless. Okay, you're downloading shit. Yeah, you're useless. What do you got? You got a cube that you're making in 3D Studio Max. All right, how do you get these textures in? You have a listing, taking the ASC file, importing it in. And that's getting it in there. Okay. That was useless too. Okay. First, you need to make a new shader file in the base3 scripts path. You should have the extension .shader. You may want to call it the same name as your level. Splat shader, tut shader. Now, make an entry in the file, shader list. Type tut in the file. Yep, I've done that. To see our shader texture in the textures manager, we'll have to make a new folder under the textures folder and call it the same as your shader file. Really? So they're telling me I have to make a Pac-Man folder. If you now reopen, you'll see the new entry in the textures menu. That was the key. That was a lot of work. But I did finally figure it out. Holy crap. All right, so let's go ahead and delete this cube. Actually, no. Let's delete this cube. Let's apply the shader to all of these walls. Boom. It looks absolutely horrible, but you know what? It's my new horribleness. This is so small that the guy doesn't even fit in there. But you know what? It builds. It's successful. We have a new custom Pac-Man map. And I think I put this textures now into... Oh, I think we put it right here. Like that. We'll find out really quick. So now we go to mine in OpenZone. We're going to have to transfer the zone file too. Okay. We have a BSP file right here. Can we literally just move this here? And it might need the map file. Doubt it, but it might. Okay. So, OpenZone, library, textures, Quake 3, maps, box, open. I see a cube. The geometry doesn't look right, but all right. This thing is the grossest thing ever to work with. Let's go back to this mode. As you can see, the cube, for some reason, doesn't have a roof. You know what, though? Screw it. I'm going to render it. I'm going to say export this. I have a cube. eCommons. Yes. Go. Okay. Now that we have eCommons, let's go ahead and copy it finally from zones. We'll take all of these files, put them into Underdark. Oops. That might not be very happy about that. We'll see. Yeah. Alright, that's respectable. I wouldn't be very happy either if I was in the zone and the files got replaced. So, once this boots, we're going to see if we at least see these walls. There's probably going to be a collision wall there, though. But that's fine. It's a really small room anyways. All right. Are we in game? So the geometry is at 0, 0. There it is. And we do have all the walls. Yeah, this is success right here. I imported the textures and this cube purely from a Quake 3 map. So, arguably, I could make an entire game in this and use OpenZone to convert it. And the textures, I think, are like identical too. Like, I know they're not placed properly, but they're properly not placed properly. Yeah, because like on one of the corners, is there a face just on the edge? There is on 2 corners, actually. Let me guess, that one and that one. Yeah, I think the UV and everything's perfect. So if I use the surface inspector, wherever the heck that is, surface inspector, S, this will likely let me tweak the brush to like say fit or reset or width, height. Are you getting affiliate ads? Cool. So I can just do fit. And then like this one, I'm going to repeat a lot. Like, let's make it like 10 width, 10, oops, 10 height. Yeah, so now it's a little bit cleaner looking inside. I'm also going to move the geometry up a little bit. So let's take the roof. The edges are very repeated. And yeah, we could play some StarCraft later. How do I stretch just the face? Can I do that, please? Yeah. Can I take these 4 faces, use the translate, and stretch this? Look at that. That's perfect. So now it's bigger. Boom, 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 boom. My cube's still in here. We got lots of crap. Let's turn off this so we get brush mode. I think that if I click on this face, let's put this like fit or reset. Fit with 10. Okay. Let's just keep this stretched, all right? But only on the bottom. The top should be really repetitive, and then if we do get outside the cube, I want that also, like I want one side. Oops, I'm on face select mode. Why aren't you selecting? Huh. I guess once you lock on a object, this, okay, I get it now. So let's make that this right, and then the top of it, let's change it to be like double. So like there's tons of them on the top, right? And on the bottom, it's quite a few, and then the top, there's a ton. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and save, build, create the BSP, take the BSP, copy it over to, I gotta streamline this, but I'm working on it. Quake 3, maps, paste, no. Paste this to this, yep. Then we go to textures, no. We go back into OpenZone, we delete the old, we import again with textures box. And let's just do a quick preview. So the top has quite a few repeats. This should be pretty clean now, at least on some sides. And then outside, the top should be really thick with the number of textures shown. If I can get up there. This is very unwieldy. Of course, the surface doesn't even render, which makes sense because I'm technically working with a skybox right now. In fact, to help verify this, let's go back here and do one more drawing. I'm on side view right now, so let's just create a new cube, like right here. Where is this cube? Oh, it's on the wall of there. Okay. I want to make a floating cube in the sky, and I'm actually going to tweak the surfaces so that it fits. Woo. Why does it? Oh. Fit 5. Oh, why does this say 1,000? 1, 1, fit. There. Now I got a perfect cube with the texture on it. Helps to know the actual. And this cube is floating. It's going to be interesting to see how that geometry is drawn. Okay, so we're going to delete you again. Unfortunately, this means I have to do the copy again, but that's not too hard. Copy. In fact, let's start another window open. D drive, games, tools, EQ, tools, OpenZone 8.3, library, textures, Quake 3, maps, paste here. Okay, so this goes to there. And then we go to File, Import, Quake 3 map. We're going to go for library, textures, Quake 3, maps, box, open. Now let's just do a quick verification. Is there a cube floating in the roof somewhere? Yes. Perfect. Okay. Export S3D eCommons. Overwrite. I'm in character select. Go to I'm guessing this window actually. Go to zones, grab eCommons, copy, go to the Underdark, paste, enter game. Might crash, might not. And I am in a white world. Yeah, the textures broke. We know this happens from time to time. And MQ2 just crashed too. Where did my MQ2 go? Well, I can fix that. All right. We'll let that boot up again. And does the cube load? It does, and is there a small cube? There is. Perfect. Now to get out of the cube, well, I might be able to fly out the roof, depending on how this geometry works. Nope, it is solid as can be. So let's go to, like, I don't know, 150.0.0. No, let's go to 150.0. Nope, we're floating. But we're floating right by... We need to get the Y a little bit higher. All the floating... Okay, where am I? There's the cube. There's the house. So I'm stuck in... What the heck? So here's 0, 0, right? If I go 10 up, yeah. So let's go 50 up. There we go. Yeah, see, the textures don't render. Did this just export only this and the other world? Like, you notice there's no outside anymore, which is actually kind of good. Yep, I am stuck in Pac-Man purgatory. It'd be interesting to see, actually, if I take out... Oh, look, actually, there is no... I removed on accident the entire world. So I'm curious now. If I go new, yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to say midair. Don't create an invisible bounding box. Yeah, don't worry about any of these textures. And don't worry about the size either. Just hit OK. Wait, why do I see my old data in here still? That's annoying. I don't know what bounding polygons is, but let's say I just totally flush the zone. And now we do an import with my new textures, Quake 3 box. Now we export, not as an S3D, but as a EQS, well, yeah. Yes. We're going to camp out. We're going to go ahead and this will likely crash me again, but whatever. So we have no. Yeah, this is fine. We've exported the box. We haven't changed anything with the box world. What we're messing with right now is this data is now different. Why did that? Oh, I said copy. There we go. This will probably crash me. But if it doesn't, I'll just have a cube and that's it. I do just have a cube. The problem is it doesn't have a texture, so we're just going to exit. Because I want to verify the texture works. Because if the texture works, basically I can use OpenZone to crutch import, and then I can also like set region data on it. But like my actual editing and like map making, I can do in NetRadius, which in my opinion is better. It's less clunky. We're about to see. Look at that. So this was pretty much entirely just made in Quake editors. And this geometry is solid. So if you did though go to like, I don't know, 0, 50, 0. So you're just right outside. The world is solid. Like you can't be out here. There's nothing out here. Which is perfect. Granted, there's going to probably be some shader issues and such. Like, how do I make this shader dark and whatnot? But maybe it'll retain the shader data. I'm going to have to sit down and figure that out. So many to-dos. But the fact that we just got this to fully import is awesome. Like, I think my next goal will be, can I make a tree? And can I make a transparent tree? And can I make a collision-free tree? But for now, I'm going to consider this a mission successful. And probably end the stream. So, if you've been watching, thank you. Hope you enjoyed me scratching my head over all this processing. I'll probably next time look into how the BSP importer works. Namely, what is the shader system? Which of course shaders referenced a lot. Render patch shader. But essentially this converter for Quake 3 BSP, and then the other converter, which is the Quake 3 shaders. There's an entire folder for it, or file. Yeah, you can see light maps, identity, 1- vertex, diffuse, sawtooth, even just like deformities. It's a pretty good, like, straight up support. Scan available shaders. Interesting. So it has a shader loader. Copy last shader source. Oh, look at this. They are excluding quite a bit of parameter checks. But they do have fog, mip mapping, depth right, clamping, animation mapping, detail, alpha, transparency, RBG generation, blending. This might be enough. Huh. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to play with it more. See what craziness I can do. Especially with like native lights. Anyways, I'm going to hop off. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. 4 viewers. Looks like Jin Whoop is in here. Hanging out. Fire Niner. I don't know who Tina Rift and Valiants are. Lion is still hanging. What's rude? That I'm disconnecting the stream? I need to go grab some food and stuff while you wrap up what you're doing. But yeah, I'm down for some StarCraft too, dude. Have a good one. How did my frame drops do? 0%. I only had 22 total. And I'm streaming at 3600. How's the quality, by the way, for you guys? Was there any like degradation, artifacts, anything like that? I'm only streaming out at like 720p. So let's get some Inception going. Yeah, the quality is a little meh, but that's kind of to be expected. Like if you do it at source, it's not bad. Actually, let's do this. Do, 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 do. All right, here they go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Having too much fun. There you go. They're all dancing on the edges now. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.